When Peter Kyle came on the podcast last week, he said that he said you've got to speak to Keir Starmer about. He gets really animated about AI and its opportunities, etc.
I've got to tell you, Kier is the Prime Minister is. He really gets this.
Yeah. No, Matt has told me how much
he really gets this, and it's a shame more people don't see him when he's really animated, and
He said that he thinks we'll have AGI by the time of the next election. Is that something you agree with?
I think AGI is going to be pretty amazing, and I'm a massive AI fan. So I think your posture on AI matters. I think it will be transformative. I think it brings massive opportunities. Yes, some risks as well, which have to be managed. But I think there's a posture, if you like, on AI. Do you lean in and see the opportunities and be prepared to take them? Or do you sort of lean out and think about the risks? And I lean in to the opportunity. On AGI, that's quite ambitious from Peter, but he's an ambitious man. I do think it'll be more quick. It'll be quicker than we think. I mean, I think on AI, one of the lessons to myself is the potential is huge. It will be transformative. It's going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
We are in an incredibly good position because we're amongst the top 3 in the world. We've got brilliant companies and facilities here already, and we therefore are in a good place in this race towards AI, and it is going to be a race. And I want us to be not only in that race, but winning the race on AI. And so we'll put a lot into it. And the potential for the delivery of services is huge. Look at the health service, what could be done. The potential for delivering government itself.
Yeah.
I mean, we've just developed a tool within government to deal with housing and planning, which can bring in all the materials into one place and allow a decision to be made much more quickly. These are examples of how government can be transformed, as well as the outside business.
What do you think about the potential impact on employment and jobs there, right? Because it's my worry that we might have a sort of, we're going to have a deindustrialization, but it's going to be very different this time. It's not going to be as noisy. It's not going to be as evocative. You were obviously in Leeds in the 1980s, seeing that kind of the miners' strikes, etc. Like, how can we prepare to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Well, we discussed this last week, which is if there's to be a transition, then we need to be able to manage that transition fairly, which didn't happen in the past. I think there's great potential for jobs to change. I was really struck. There was a social worker here in Downing Street, not the next room, but the room beyond that. She was talking. I said to her, "Are you using AI?" She said, "Yes, I am. I'm using it to collate all of my notes, all of the materials that I need. That allows me more time of my own on the one-to-one human professional engagement that I need." So for her, AI made her more human.
Yeah.
And changed her job, but for the better. So yes, I think it'll be a real transition. But we need to see what better jobs come as a result of that transition. But we do need to get our arms around it as a government, because the miners' strike is a classic example of a bad transition, which has still left our country scarred. If you overlay very many of the challenges that we face, you can see that in the different communities across the country. We must never let that happen again.
What do you think your kids' generation might do for jobs?
I think they're more likely to do the human-facing jobs. There will be huge jobs in tech and innovation. But there are many jobs, your social workers. Probation's another example where AI is being used to arrange the material, but you can't get away from the human element at the end of it. So jobs will, there are certain jobs which will always involve a human element. And then, of course, there will be a huge number of jobs in each of the sectors. But, look at what we're doing on things like clean power and getting the next generation of jobs here in relation to what we're going to need to transition to clean power by 2030, and then everything that follows from that. So there will be new generations of jobs, and there'll be plenty of jobs that are done at the moment that are still needed for a very, very long time to come. What our actual children will do, I don't know. My 17-year-old hasn't got a clue what he actually wants to do. other than he's made it pretty clear he doesn't want to go into politics and he doesn't want to be a lawyer. So you can see the influence that I've had on him. So he's got 2 red lines. They're both things I've done with my life.